Can you still enjoy Punishing Grey Raven as a free-to-player? Yes, of course you can. Why couldn't you? But is it a little bit harder to enjoy Punishing Grey Raven now? Well, you can argue it. In my honest opinion, I think it's slightly a bit harder, coming from a free-to-player myself. But, of course, why is that? If you play Punishing Grey Raven, or if you follow channels like Punishing Grey Raven Radio, you should follow them, they're absolutely amazing, then you will understand there has been a very controversial thing that has happened. What is that controversial thing? The way that banners work. Let's get into that. Now, you may be wondering, what is it that's so different with the Punishing Grey Raven banner system? Well, to get you up to speed real quick, if you haven't played Punishing Grey Raven, in Punishing Grey Raven, there are different banners you can get. There is the character banner, there is the weapon banner, and then there is something else which is called the cub banner, which is essentially like a little buddy that is connected to your character. That's 3 things to get. If you compare it to other games, let's directly compare it to another game made by Kuro Games, Wuthering Waves. With Wuthering Waves, you have 2 things. You have the character banner, and then you have the weapon banner. Alright, now that you know how the summoning system works with Punishing Grey Raven with its banners that you can go for, let me get into why it's a bit controversial and how some people are a bit split with what is going on. If you didn't know, in PGR, the banner system, when you go for a character, a new character comes in. They have their banner, they are the main points, they have higher rates and everything, and then after that, they disappear from that. But actually no, they go into the main pool, the normal pool that you can always summon for. And this works for every single type of character that comes out. S-rank characters, A-rank characters, after they finish their banner, they come into that pool. Unless they're like a collab character, then in that case they won't. And that means you can save up, and if you miss them in that pool, the special limited banner, you can still get them later. You may notice, if you've played Genshin Impact or maybe some other type of gacha game, but with Wuthering Waves, there's a 50-50 system. You don't always get that character on the first time that you hit pity. Only the second time does it become basically guaranteed, to my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Now with PGR, on their limited banner, they are basically guaranteed for you. So, to me, how I play it as a free-to-player, I would build up the pity meter and then wait for my character to come in. They come in, and then I summon them, guaranteed, and I get their character. It worked super well with PGR, and it was amazing when we had it. It was very good, and that was the sole reason why I absolutely loved PGR's summoning system, PGR in general, and I would, at the time, absolutely recommend people to play it if they were completely free to play, because it was very good for free to players at that point. And I didn't mention it, but this also applies to the weapon banner and the cubs banner. They also have rollover, and for the most part, kind of guaranteed. With weapons it goes to 80%, but it's basically guaranteed. If you miss, then that's just unfortunate. But at least it's not 50-50. Now, what's the controversial bit that's been happening right now with PGR? Well, I've told you how the banner system works, and I believe you probably think it's a pretty good banner system for free-to-players. And you also would know, if you've been listening to me, they have taken this away, or at least they've changed how it works. In the recent patch, they have added this new banner. Every single new character that appears will land in this banner, and for some reason, they decided, you know, once they're gone, they'll be completely gone. They will not move into the normal banner, into that main pool. You can no longer get them after they are gone unless they come back. This is a thing in Wuthering Waves. Now, why is this a problem? Well, the controversial bit for this new patch is the fact that they have decided, you know what, for every new character that comes in, we'll give them a banner. That rollover will still exist, that pity will still be the same. Cool, we'll just add one little thing. Once they're gone, they're gone. They won't go into the main pool, their weapon won't go into the main pool, their cub won't go into the main pool, they will just be gone until they decide to bring them back, making them completely limited. If you didn't know, this is the 6th anniversary for Punishing Grey Raven. This whole banner system has been here for 5 whole years, and now they decide to change it. It sounds very odd. I think I know why they have changed it though, and I'll tell you that at the end of this video. Now, of course, as you'd expect, or as I have been saying, this whole thing kind of became a bit controversial when it was announced. A lot of people were not very happy with this. For me, I was also a little confused. I was very confused as to why they had decided to do this after 5 years of the other system. And I think I know why. The fact that Wuthering Waves has this system, yet no one really complains about it the same way as this. Why is that? Now, you see with Wuthering Waves, as I told you before, they have 2 banners, usually. They have the character banner, and then they have the weapon banner. That's all you have to go for. But there's a difference with the pity system. With the banners in this game, both of them, the weapon banner and the character banner, they are both at 80. So you have to go 80 times, for the first time at least, for the character, flip a coin to see if you get the character. It's a bit of a meme, but a lot of people, they kind of miss that 50-50. The weapon banner is a lot more generous. Of course, it is still an 80 pity, but the difference is that if you see gold, you get the weapon, which is great. I feel like this is what it should have been for the characters, but of course, I am just a boy in a room. So, you know, I don't make those decisions. Alright, so why is this whole thing not controversial with Wuthering Waves, but controversial with Punishing Grey Raven? Wuthering Waves had this at the very beginning of the game. It did not change this at any point of the game as it was running, not halfway through, not now. It was at the beginning. We knew it was going to be like this, so we were used to it. We knew what we were getting, we knew what we were in store for. We didn't have the PGR system of how banners work in Wuthering Waves at all, so we are fine with that. It works there because that's how it was from the beginning. Now, why is it controversial for Punishing Grey Raven? It's the fact, at least in my opinion, that after 5 years, I cannot say this enough, they had this system, then they decided to change it. Of course it's going to be controversial if you decide to randomly change it out of the blue, to make it so that it works like Wuthering Waves, but a little worse, because you have 3 different banners to go for. They just disappear. They don't go into that main pool. This hurts as a free-to-player, but I think I know why they did this. Let me tell you why. Now, in my opinion, I believe the reason they actually changed this isn't really too special. If you paid attention to the Punishing Grey Raven updates, or if you follow it, then you would know that they have a new Babylonia area that you can go to, that you can walk around. It's semi-open. It looks amazing, visually is great, and you know the one thing there that is completely different to how the story was 5 years ago? Or rather, for the past 5 years. It's the fact that voice acting works like Wuthering Waves now. We now have fully voiced characters for scenes, and they also are no longer art. They're no longer 2D, they are 3D animation. If you put those two together with the timing, it kinda makes sense. That will cost them a lot more to actually make. So, they're gonna need more money to do that, and I believe them changing how this banner system works might actually connect to that. I feel like that's how it works. Now, I don't know that, but that's what I think. Yep, this is a controversial thing. Is it a game ender? Is it gonna send people off of the game? No, I don't really think so. Maybe some people will leave because of how they got attached to that system, or something like that, I don't know. But I think the majority of us are gonna stay with Punishing Grey Raven because it's still a great game, still has great voice acting, still has great visuals, animations, gameplay, all of that is still there. It's just a small thing that changed, that kind of irked the community, just a little bit. For me, I'm gonna stay with Punishing Grey Raven. Still a great game. So, why should I leave? And if you, dear viewer, have not played this game, I recommend you play it. It's a great game. Like, the story is definitely one of the big reasons why I play this. The gameplay is a huge reason I play this. If you really like Wuthering Waves, you'll love this game. It's just a little different because it's not open world. But give it a try. This controversy, it's not going to do anything negative to the game. It's just a small bump. You'll enjoy it. I can guarantee that.